Your Facebook ad CPM is one of the biggest factors that go into determining how much your ads are going to cost. CPM stands for cost per 1,000 impressions. In other words, it's how much Facebook is charging you for every 1,000 times your ad is shown on their platform. And so if you can lower your CPM, meaning you pay less for your ads to be shown, then your cost per result, meaning cost per lead or cost per purchase, are naturally going to come down as well. Now the good news is there are things you can actually do to lower your CPM, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. Starting with using different creative types and making sure you have creatives that can run on all placement. See, some placements only support image ads, while others only support video. And then you've got some placements that only support specific types of image or specific length video. Let's take Reels, for example. Reels only supports video ads. It will not run image ads on the Reels placement. In addition to that, Reels only supports videos up to 60 seconds long. So even if you've got a video ad and it's, let's say, 2 minutes long, so it runs on other placements, it will not run on the Reels platform. So my recommendation to you is make sure that you have a mix of different types of creatives, and make sure that within that mix of images and videos, you also ensure that you have some that cover at least every placement across all platforms. That gives Facebook more room to move in terms of making sure that it's able to show the right ad to the right person at the right time. And the reason that's important is because some placements are actually cheaper than others. And so it gives Facebook the opportunity to put your ads in those lower cost placements wherever it can. Now, if your competitors aren't doing the same thing, then that means you're going to get more chances to get more ads in front of your audience at a lower cost. Now, the second thing you can do to lower your Facebook and Instagram ad CPMs is to expand your audiences, meaning target larger audiences, particularly when you're targeting cold audiences. Now, the reason this is so important is because when you target a larger audience, you give Facebook more people to potentially target. That means that Facebook has more opportunity to enter you into auctions where demand is lower. Think about it from a supply and demand perspective. If lots of advertisers are all trying to target a very small pool of audience members, then there's a lot of competition for that particular group. But if you open it up and say, well, I want to target a really big audience, Facebook isn't forced to go just to that small, high demand segment. Then it can go and target people where there is less demand, meaning your CPMs are likely to be lower. As I said, for cold audiences, they should always be huge, at least several million. For warm audiences and retargeting, yes, they're always going to be expensive. There's not too much you can do about it there, but the way you should be splitting your budget should be most of it going to a cold audience anyway, with only a small percentage, maybe 20%, going to retargeting. And so the next thing you can do to lower your CPM is actually create better ads. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, Facebook defines ad quality using a number of different things. The first one is ad feedback. So that's the feedback that users are providing around your ad. Now, negative feedback is things like users hiding your ad or hiding all posts from your page, or even marking your ad as spam. They're all massive negative feedback indicators. Positive forms of feedback are things like liking your ad or even clicking on your ad. Now, if you want to see the feedback you're getting on your ad, you can actually check this. If you go into the ad manager and you go to your ad, click on See Ad in the Facebook feed, and then when you view that ad, you can click the Insights button. And that's actually going to show you how people have reacted to the ad and how much negative feedback you've got as well. Now, the other factor that goes into determining ad quality is the engagement rate. So this is basically an estimate that Facebook does to determine how likely somebody is to engage with the ad. So basically, if your audience like your ads and they're responding well to them, you're going to have lower CPMs. Now, on the flip side of that, if your audience don't like your ads and they're indicating that to Facebook by not engaging with it, by leaving negative feedback indicators, then you're going to have much higher CPMs. Now, the good news is you can actually get an indication as to what your ad quality is like by looking at Facebook's ad relevance diagnostics inside the ad manager. There are 3 primary diagnostics that they provide, and you can use these to figure out what you need to change or fix with your ads. So if you go in, customize the columns in the ad manager and make sure that the quality ranking, engagement rate ranking, and conversion rate ranking columns are visible, you'll then be able to see where your ad sits relevant to other ads in the auction. So you'll see average, above average, below average, and different ratings there that show you what your ad is doing well and what it's not doing well. And Facebook actually have an entire table that helps you then use those indicators to determine what you need to fix within your ad. So ads with lower quality, engagement, and conversion rate rankings are generally going to have higher CPMs. And ads with higher rankings are generally going to be cheaper or have lower CPMs. Now, if you want to learn how to make better ads and become a better marketer in general, make sure you're on my newsletter. The link for that is in the description below. So what else can you do to lower CPMs? Well, we kind of touched on this earlier, but the next thing is to not limit the placements that you show your ads on. So instead of choosing manual placements and selecting specific placements for your ads, what you should be doing is just using all placements. That opens it up. It gives Facebook the opportunity to show your ad to any placement. And as long as you've got the creatives to do that, then you'll generally get lower CPMs and better results overall. And another thing to consider when it comes to getting lower CPMs is to consider when you're running your ads, because this really makes a huge difference. So generally weekends are slightly more expensive than weekdays in terms of CPMs because more advertisers want to run their ads on weekends. Now, on top of that, public holidays and long weekends are generally more expensive again. And ads are particularly expensive. CPMs rise in a big way in the lead up to Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So those big spending events when a lot of companies are running big sales and they're running a lot of ads on Facebook and Instagram to promote those sale events. That's when we see some of the highest CPMs of the entire year. And finally, Christmas. In the lead up to Christmas, we generally start in October, November, seeing a gradual increase in CPMs all the way up until Christmas Day. And then in January, we see our CPMs plummet, and generally it's the cheapest time of the year to run ads. So being aware of these cycles in CPMs and how different times of the year and different events affect CPMs is good to know, because if you aren't really affected by these and it doesn't matter when you run your ads, then you can consider running them at those lower cost times in order to have lower CPMs and lower costs in general. Finally, we talked about targeting audiences a little earlier. If you want to learn exactly how I do my targeting, how to find great audiences to target that are large, will have low CPMs, but are still specific enough to get you the results that you're looking for, make sure you check out this video next. It's going to walk you through my entire process for finding high converting audiences to get better results with your Facebook ads. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.